Hello everybody, it's Partyfoot back with another episode of Mechabellum. This time going up against the classic Fang Sledgehammer out of our opponent, running the aerial spec. We're having to think about it, and we go for the sabers with the fangs. I just played a game, I think, where I'd had some improved sabers, and I was feeling sabery, so we decided to go for the classic saber arclight combination. Our opponent immediately goes for as much chaff as possible, but definitely making me feel good about these arclights. All the recommended positions were like flanking right at the front, so I decided I'd like to make myself a custom position. Play a bit further back. In the middle, hopefully draw in our opponent if they are on one side of the flank and maybe have enough to defend. Arclight Saber, a pretty decent combination, and with the Arclights behind the Sabers, hopefully they'll survive long enough to clear out a lot of the chaff. They are getting caught behind here a little bit, it looks like, and maybe getting a little bit stuck, but maybe overall still a good result. Tanks are unloading on the Sabers, but the Sabers aren't going down. And this seems like a pretty decisive round number one. We're Rhino spec. Our opponent's an aerial spec. And let's see, they skip. Missile strike's pretty tempting. Our opponent uses the aerial spec to grab double Phoenix quite decisively. Definitely knew what they wanted on round two. And we go for an additional Saber and Arclight, trying to extend that line a little bit down to the right-hand side. Unfortunately, this is going to be pretty good against us. Double Phoenix. Don't have any anti-air units apart from the Fangs. Fangs can kill Phoenix, actually. I correct myself from... Got a really nice double pack of chaff, basically, with that shot. I correct myself from earlier thinking that there were no units that Fangs could beat in a fight. I think maybe a pack of Fangs can beat a pack of Phoenixes. Is that true? I don't know for sure. It kind of looks like it, maybe. This is definitely a miracle that these guys are going down. It seems like it can, right? One pack of Fangs into these guys. That's not bad. They can do something. Will we deal with these Phoenixes? It's round 3, and generally for me, I don't even think about it. I'm like, what am I doing? And I don't remember that last round he had Phoenix, that I didn't have anything to shoot down, really, apart from, I guess, the Fangs, which was lucky that they died, but also considering the fact that he could go for some more air units. We saw Vulcan, and we're like, yes. Vulcan is what we want. Big flamethrower robots. How could you not want that? I wanted them to be a little bit less exposed. I didn't want them charging in straight away in the front. So we kind of rearranged a little bit to sink them in a little bit into the formation. We hit play and then we go, oh wait, yeah, the Phoenix. Oh yeah, Wraiths, I see. I mean, these Vulcans should see to this insane ground force that he's got. But maybe we're giving too much opportunity for these air units to level, potentially. They are getting to strike for free onto our Vulcan here. It's going to give them a decent amount of experience when that goes down, I think. Leveling those Phoenix already. Well, at least they can't level any further, I guess. Once they've already leveled. These units over here still desire to eat good. Okay, looks like these Phoenix won't level, which is nice for us. But we leave the air situation unaddressed. Steel ball production, that's very attractive. It's quite expensive, but I think it's probably worth it. Fortified Hacker, Elite Wasp. We do go for the steel balls. We already have a giant down, which makes it a lot more attractive than... You know, it's a good item, but if you don't already have a giant, you know, it means it kind of plays your hand a little bit. We decide that the air solution today is going to be Farseer. Marksman, probably not a bad choice either, but our opponent has gone for Elite Wasp. So, the Farseer did receive that anti-air upgrade recently, and I thought to myself that that would be quite a decent way of dealing with these flying units. Just have some Farseer, like, quite late in the back. Yes. Vulcan producing steel balls. Balls of steel rolling in. Getting shot. Not achieving a huge amount there, to be honest. But their value really lies in the later game, when it might come down to just our Vulcan versus some ground units, and potentially, or even air units, honestly. Things for them to shoot at that aren't our Farseer, who is our only hope at this point of shooting down all these guys. I mean, you know, there's a couple Fangs working away, but the Farseer is really doing work. We lost the other two, so certainly still a precarious situation to be in. And we take the tower down at a really opportune moment to provide this Farseer with a good opportunity to shoot everything down and not get overwhelmed. One big Wraith left. Actually starting to look in this moment though as though it might still be able to push through if our Farseer was to edge any closer and start getting attacked by the Wraith, but balls on the tower. And now our DPS is really cutting in. Putting in work. Pretty high amount of uptime on his attack, doing full damage. Improved Sandworm, efficient giants, intensive training, and barrier. Another nice choice. Barrier is a great item as well. But again, if you don't have an existing giant, which, you know, giants aren't as popular as they were back in the day of Mechabellum, in my opinion. We'll get the anti-air upgrade for our Farseers. We level our sabers. And we grab an additional Farseer. This missile impotently bounces off the shield, immediately getting 50 extra value for that, compared to what our opponent will receive overall. Vulcans. Oh, incinerating so much chaff. This side, we're getting a bit too close to a bunch of serious stuff. Our Farseer is taking fire. Looks like they're going to be able to take down the Wraith. Maybe the Wraith's turning down. And actually the Wraith wins out that fight. Interesting that a level 1... Oh, sorry, it is a level 2 Wraith. Does it have a skin or something? It looks a little different. Okay, level 2 Wraith can beat a level 1 Farseer with anti-air, which is interesting. I guess that makes sense. Farseer is a unit that probably desires to be a little bit safe and not tanking, whereas Wraith is more of an upfront unit with a lot less range. But not a bad round. Those balls are actually contributing a bit of damage at the end too, so I don't know, quite nice in my opinion. 4 Marksman, 2 Phantom Ray, Sandworm. I don't pick Sandworm enough, so I decided to go for some Sandworm. Pop it down on the flank and see if, with Mechanical Division, of course, because this is only 100, I think, it's unbelievably worthwhile in my opinion. You know, even with 1 worm it's decent. I think with 2 it's already, you know, it's a one-pick wonder. I don't know how much I want to, you know, invest into them if I'm spending that, because otherwise I'll, you know, end up pretty bankrupt. But leveling the Vulcan, hoping to get better balls, harder balls. Leveling our Farseer. Obi-Wan over here, our only hope. Big missile comes in, clears out all the chaff on this side, apart from, of course, the infinite steel balls. Stealth Cloak. Phantom Rays. With oil. Coming in. Laying oil everywhere for our Vulcans to set our own units on fire. I mean, more air is definitely what I want to see when I'm investing in Farseer, but the stealth is doing a pretty good job of messing up their attacks. Although, I did just see at least one shot where the Farseer retargeted the Phoenix in the back when it lost lock on those Phantoms, so maybe undermining their purpose a little bit. Can this Farseer do it? Oh, of course it can. We've got worms. The worms actually proving to be pretty effective there. Burrowing underground and being pretty resistant to this largely aerial army because they don't choose to fight anything they honestly can't reach. So actually, it might be quite difficult for our opponent to stop. Another steel ball production line. Yes. How could we stop ourselves? The only thing I don't recall doing after this, as I put that on my leveled Sandworm, is to grab the mechanical division on those balls too. I think that would really be nice. Noting that we were getting our Farseers killed quite easily, we do go for the range. Try and keep them back a little bit so that they continue to be available to keep shooting down these air units that our opponent's heavily investing in. Armor on the Wraiths now. Range on the Phoenix. A lot of air and not much on the ground. I anticipated our opponent might try to do something to stop this. He doesn't appear to have actually done so. Maybe this missile would slow down our worms. But I decided to go into the middle. Try to mix it up and keep ourselves be a little bit unpredictable. If possible. Big oil slick and set on fire by our own Vulcans, and war crimes ensued. Look at the damage from these anti-air Farseer though. Taking down all those leveled wasps. Will we get enough uptime on the rest of these units to do enough damage though? We'll get our Farseer taken down pretty quickly on this side. Our big one is still DPSing away in the back. Even with the debuff, taking down Phoenix pretty effectively. Which is our opponent's worst nightmare, I imagine. With taking down the stealth. The missiles obviously locked on and fired before he went into stealth. Look at that nice range. Farseer. 110k damage. And we win the game. I felt like recording this one, I think, because I haven't used Sandworm much. And it felt kind of cool going for Vulcan, Sandworm, and getting a bunch of these extra... Yeah, Vulcan, Sandworm, Farseer, I feel like it is a combination that I've not really managed to pull off before. And so yeah, a little bit of a showcase there, I guess. On a lot of my opponents are going for like crazy Phantom Ray strategies. These ones, this guy doesn't run armor, which is, I think armor's quite good. Because potentially against, you know, Mustangs and things, but I don't know. I guess in this case it didn't work out for him. His Phoenix was still doing work though. Those were good purchases. But yeah. These, I just love those manufacturing items. They're so good. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is Partyfoot, signing out.